So I want to start with, I think, the most important question. Obviously, this is an amazing project, getting to work with these amazing people and Ryan. I guess my big question is, how much ultimately did you pay to be in the movie?
That is a really good question. Honestly, I would have paid any amount of money to be in the company of these folks and to do this film.
100%, you
Oh,
know,
yes. Mhm.
100%. So I am curious, when did you actually find out that you had landed the role? And did all the people around you, when you found out, think that you were a crazy person because you screamed so loud?
Yeah, so it was August of 2019. And I had auditioned a month before, but I hadn't really heard much, for a while. And then I had a screen test with my co-star Ariana DeBose, and when I saw her name on the sign-in sheet, like, I was floored. She is a Broadway icon, and I could not believe that I was gonna get to do this screen test, this chemistry read with her. Um, and it went really well, but I just was like, okay, I just have to hope and then live my life. And then the next day, I got the call while I was thrift shopping in Bushwick, Brooklyn, and here we are.
Right. I did you let out a scream or did like what was that? You know what I mean?
It was a lot of like, oh my goodness, oh my gosh. Like, I do have a picture of I when I got the call. And so I will always remember that. But I was literally like, I couldn't believe it. And the first person I called was my mom. But she didn't pick up. So then I called my grandma. And then it turns out my mom was at my grandma's house. So they got to hear the news together. So.
That is amazing. I love Ryan's commitment to diversity and inclusion, both in front of and behind the camera. This is another one of those projects that champions that. Can you sort of talk about what it means to you to be a part of something like this and with his commitments?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like it is the greatest joy to be able to bring my full self, my full identity to a role and to not only be accepted, but celebrated. And Ryan has made such a commitment of hiring diverse and inclusive talent, and in the kinds of projects that he develops. I am so grateful that we have a visionary like Ryan in our creative world.
Oh, I'm all in on this. I definitely want to get specific and talk about. I love the finale. That number is fantastic. I want to know what was it like actually filming that, and can you sort of talk about like the prep that went into that?
Oh my goodness, yes. As far as just like dance, so on my end, like dance wise, we had been rehearsing that number for, I want to, like, that was one of the first numbers that we learned, and it was also one of the last numbers that we shot. So we had been working on it for a while, um, and when it came time to shoot it, I don't think I could have. You can never prepare for something like that because you have all of the background actors and all of the dancers and all the principal cast. They're just like cheering each other on. I remember before every take, we would like sort of like do like a hype circle and just get people pumped because every single take had to be full out. And even though it was, they were long days, we were all so happy to be there. And I will never forget when we finally wrapped on our last day, no one wanted to leave. And we all sort of got in this like big group hug mosh pit, and someone started playing We Are the Champions over the sound speaker, and we were all singing along and hugging, and it literally was like the high school football team won the state championship. It was magical.
You and James have fantastic chemistry together. I love the stuff you guys did in the mall because I don't think I've ever seen a musical act, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I don't remember a lot of musicals filming in an actual mall and doing what you guys did. So what was it like actually filming in a mall? I grew up on the East Coast. Malls are a whole thing with us.
Oh, well, see, I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio. Malls are the lifeblood. I do feel, and it was fun because you're literally like, you're surrounded by the smells of like the pretzel stand and like the smoothie station and all the perfume. And it's also like a giant mall where there are, real people just like shopping and going about their day. And so you feel a little sneaky, like here we are, like making a movie, like while people are just trying to live their life. But it was really fun.
I love the song Love Thy Neighbor because it basically points out the hypocrisy in the Bible. but there's a lot of great songs in this. And I know it's a little generic, but do you have a favorite?
Oh my goodness. I don't think I have a favorite. I do. I agree. I love Thy Neighbor. I think Andrew Rannells absolutely stops the show. Like I mean, it's fantastic. And I will say any number that has a lot of dancing with our incredible troupe of dancers is probably my favorite because everyone worked so hard and the energy and joy that they bring just like leaps to life out of the screen.
How many days did it take before you were comfortable bringing up Moulin Rouge with Nicole?
I never brought it up. I tried to be, as respectful as possible. And I wasn't sure, like, if, she wanted to talk about that. So we just talked about other things instead. And yeah.
Got it. Did you guys create a group text that you did together? And if so, who sent too many?
Actually, no group text, surprisingly.
Okay, that's very disappointing. Jumping backwards, you obviously had to prep so much before filming began. What was the thing that maybe this is your first, big project? What was the thing maybe you were most nervous about going in on those first few days of filming?
100%. Talk about prep, but playing the guitar. So I don't play, and I had to learn how to play for the song Unruly Heart. And that was something that I had practiced a lot, but I also knew, some nerves can get in the way and you just never know what's going to happen on the day of filming. So that was definitely the one that I was most nervous about. And I think it's also the one that I'm proudest of how it turned out because I had to work really hard to do it.
Completely. I got to go. I'm just going to say again, congrats. You did such a great job.
Thank you so much, Stephen.